closer, you know what I mean? I watch it every couple of years and I'm like, wow, this is actually starting to happen.
Yeah, it's happening fast. It's moving way faster than I thought it would, right?
Yeah.
Once it started with GPT 3.5, I think where things really took off. And then obviously these generative AI models around image generation, now video generation is getting really big. It's exciting and it's moving unbelievably fast. It's hard to even keep up.
Yeah, for real. It's cool to see you embrace AI because a lot of business owners are scared of it and not using it or avoiding it. Wherever you guys are watching this show, I would truly appreciate it if you follow or subscribe. It helps a lot with the algorithm. It helps us get bigger and better guests, and it helps us grow the team. Truly means a lot. Thank you guys for supporting, and here's the episode. All right, guys, here with Curtis Blackmore. We met through basketball. Now we've become friends and diving into business together. Good to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I sure appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we met through basketball. You lit me up that first game, and I was like, who is this dude? Then we started talking, becoming friends, and it's been cool to see you start MyDesigns and really grow that brand, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And, it's been a lot of work getting to that point with this and getting it finally launched, doing that startup route, but it's going well. So I'm really excited to be here and talk about that a little bit if we can.
Yeah, so MyDesigns is basically a merch POD company, right?
Yep. It's a print-on-demand platform for creators to basically take all their designs or assets and turn it into merch products you put on Etsy, Shopify, and soon Amazon.
Nice.
We're going to expand to TikTok shops and additional marketplaces too, but basically we automate everything from order fulfillment to making it easy to bulk publish your products. It's one thing that we do really well, and bulk generate mockups and all the assets you need to basically create a really high-quality product listing, including listing data too now. So title, subscriptions, tags. All you need is designs, hundreds of them. We can write your listing data in a few seconds.
Nice.
Optimized for every platform you're selling on.
Super cool. Yeah, and I was on your YouTube. It seems like you've been doing merch for years, man. So what brought you to the merch game?
Yeah, so I actually, if you go back far enough, I started a clothing brand called Captain Athletics. And we were doing Shopify at the time. What we were doing is sourcing locally. And then it got to a point where we needed more products. So we started sourcing from China. And now you have all this excess inventory, sizes, colors, variants, right?
I've been there.
So kind of that naturally led me towards print on demand. I started first hearing about it through Printful using Shopify. So kind of switched our model at that point. Did pretty well with it. Really liked it.
Yeah.
Because now not holding inventory, you can have as many colors, as many products, different sizes, and only pay for something when someone purchases it.
Nice.
So it was a really nice model and a good change for us. And then eventually that led to figuring out about Merch by Amazon, which is Amazon's, entrance into the print on demand game.
Yeah.
And it's built directly into Amazon, and they would just do the fulfillment yourself. So again, just needed a graphic, put it on products. It's on Amazon with Prime shipping. And that's really cool. So I started Merch Titans, building a product and keyword research tool around that particular market, and just spun off into eventually building automation software and got really obsessed with automation.
Love that.
From design scaling automation to publishing automation, and all of that eventually led to MyDesigns, which kind of brings it all into one hub.
Yeah, I like the print on demand model because, dude, I have nightmares of inventory still because I used to sell jerseys and I would have sometimes 100K plus in inventory just sitting there knowing it probably won't sell. But with POD, you don't need to have money tied up in inventory.
Nope, not at all. You only pay for something when someone purchases it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. And then it routes to, right, you can automate the entire order fulfillment and tap into a global, fulfillment network. There's so many benefits to it. The only downside is you're not going to have as high profit margins, but at the end of the day, you can scale a lot quicker and a lot faster.
You won't have as high, but you're actually going to make more, to be honest, because you want a money tied in inventory because not everything sells out.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed it.
Like you could order thousands of things thinking it'll sell out and then you're just stuck with all that inventory.
Yep, and it's a mess.
Yeah, it's a huge mess.
Because you're donating at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Have you been using any AI with the companies?
Yeah, I've been obsessed with AI, with MyDesigns in particular, like I say, in writing your product listings for you in bulk. You can just use an OpenAI and what they're building there, Chat GPT, but really GPT-4. It's insane. And Vision AI, where we can just drop designs and basically write your entire product listing.
Wow.
No matter what product you're selling.
That's incredible.
We're doing that, but also generative AI, because this is really important in the field we're in, because everything's around the graphics. So Midjourney's been phenomenal, especially version 6. And then you got Stable Diffusion. SDXL is their newest model. They have a few more coming. Those are awesome because they're open source. And we kind of tap into that and can kind of do a lot of our own training and different things with it. But yeah, we have that built right into MyDesigns. So essentially by the end of this year, you'll just be able to voice an idea into our app. So hey, MyDesigns, generate a Cocker Spaniel portrait wearing sunglasses and sell it on a t-shirt on my Etsy shop.
That's so cool.
So you just say that and boom, you'll have multiple variations. Just select the ones you like and hit publish.
That's so cool.
That's how easy I want to make it. Right?
Yeah, because right now designing merch is an annoying process. Yeah. You got to hire a designer, they got to format it right, then you got to order it. But with that, you can just make it yourself without any graphic design experience.
Exactly. And we can already do that right now with text prompts.
Yeah.
So we have everything else done, but now we'll get to the point where you can just voice it.
Dude.
And then simplify and streamline that whole process.
I think that's the next evolution of shopping right there.
Yeah, and that leads me to the next part, because once you have a lot of people doing that, right, you start saturating marketplaces, et cetera. It's like, what is the thing that you're thinking about the future of e-commerce and print on demand? It's like,
All right, guys, shout out to today's sponsor, Babbel. 1 in 5 Americans have learn a new language on their bucket list. If that's you, make 2024 the year you finally check it off the list. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors anymore or waste hours on other apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel has quick 10-minute lessons that are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. It's designed by real people for real conversations. Babbel has really helped me lock in Spanish. My fiance's family is all Latina, and now I'm able to communicate with her family members, and it's awesome. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove that Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. They have over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all of their 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/social hour. That's babbel.com/social hour, spelled BABBEL.com/social hour. Rules and restrictions may apply.
so we started kind of building this internally. We're going to release a tool pretty soon to test this, but basically it's a generative AI marketplace, all powered by print on demand. So you run a search, product doesn't exist, we'll create it for you. You know, all the mock-ups, everything, print files, everything's perfect for the printers. You just purchase it, it shows up at your doorstep.
Wow. So you're just going to be printing money off designs you haven't even made, but
it's
people
what
are
the customer wants, right? They're searching for a particular product, and we'll just create it in near real time.
Dude, that is dope.
Seconds.
Yeah, I could see that. I just watched Ready Player One again last night. That's such a good movie, but we're getting closer and closer. You know what I mean? I watch it every couple years, and I'm like, wow, this is actually starting to happen.
Yeah, it's happening fast. It's moving way faster than I thought it would, right?
Yeah.
Once it started with GPT 3.5, I think where things really took off. And then obviously these generative AI models around image generation. Now video generation is getting really big. It's exciting and it's moving unbelievably fast. It's hard to even keep up.
Yeah, for real. It's cool to see you embrace AI because a lot of business owners are scared of it and not using it or avoiding it.
Yeah, we're really excited about it because our vision's always been what I said about being able to voice something and eventually have that. But the AI just sped that up. Because I thought it was going to take 6 years to get there. We'll be there this year.
Absolutely.
So,
dude,
it's been amazing.
You follow NBA at all?
Yeah.
Who's your team?
Utah Jazz.
Okay. You got them winning this year?
I don't know about winning this year, but you know they've struggled on early, and they came around and had really good spurts there.
Yeah,
they're kind of up and down. We're still in a rebuilding mode, but I wouldn't be surprised if we make the playoffs. And if we do, I think it could be an interesting run.
Okay. I'm a Lakers fan, but I don't have too much hope this year for them. Actually, they did just pick up Dinwiddie, which I think is a solid pickup, but I don't know if that'll be enough. The West is stacked, dude.
It is completely stacked and has been for years.
Yeah, it's so much better than the East. It's not even close.
Yeah.
The East has like maybe 2-3 teams, but the West, seed 1 through 10 is like really.
It's so tough. If you can get into that play-in tournament, it's going to be tough.
I know, right? It's nuts. Growing up in Utah, what was that like?
You know, I liked it. I actually grew up in northern Arizona.
Okay.
So it's Colorado City is the name of the town, but it's right on the border of Utah. So it's a border town. And then the other side of the city is Hilldale, Utah. So it's a small polygamous community. Well, probably fairly big. It's like, I say small, but there's actually around 10,000 people part of that community. So it's pretty big for a polygamous community.
Yeah, for so every family there was basically polygamous?
Yeah, for the most part.
Wow.
It is really tight-knit, community. Grew up in that. It's different, completely different. Like, for instance, my family, right? I have 36 brothers and sisters. my dad had 3 wives.
Jeez.
And so all the women had a lot of kids, 10 plus usually.
Wow.
Not in every family, but that was pretty common.
Damn.
So they really, had a lot of kids, and it's interesting experience.
Yeah, so growing up in that environment, you probably thought that was normal at the time.
Yeah, it's just what I grew up in. That's what I knew.
Right.
Very disciplined, very community oriented. There's a lot of really great things about it. They teach you like hard work ethic and all that. But at the end of the day, it was a hell of an experience. And
that is interesting. Did you gravitate towards one mother, or did you treat all of them equally?
I gravitated towards my mom, obviously.
Okay.
I think that's pretty common for most kids in polygamous families.
Yeah.
But there's also your favorites, right? Certain moms you love. And
so you call them mother, like all 3 of them?
Yep.
Wow. That is interesting, man. And you said 36 siblings?
Yeah, 36 siblings.
And you know all their names?
Yeah.
That is impressive, dude.
Absolutely. I'm close with quite a few of them. Like, that's a lot of people, kind of scattered in different places, but close with quite a few of them, but definitely not all of them.
How many were in your actual house growing up?
So at the peak, because it get to a point where the older ones move out.
Yeah.
But I would say probably 20, 24, 25.
Oh my gosh. And do you think with that many siblings, you are getting the attention that you wanted as a kid?
So it's different, right? You're not going to get as much attention from your dad. Dad he's an entrepreneur. He's always on the road. So he was gone a lot, but he's also there as much as he could be. But so you get the attention to elsewhere, right? You have that family. You have really like a lot of socializing going on.
Right.
And there's so much going on at all times. And it's not just your family, right? There's, like I said, hundreds of families. So it's a big, big community. So you get out and get attention elsewhere, if like friends, family members, the moms for sure.
Got it.
They really took care of the household.
Yeah.
And things like that. So not necessarily from my dad, but from my moms for sure.
That is so fascinating. And when did you learn that that wasn't like the traditional family? How old were you?
Probably 5, 6.
Oh, so you knew early.
Yeah, you started to figure it out, right?
That's super early. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not the traditional family.
Yeah. And did you want that, or were you cool with where you were at?
No, I was really happy with, like I said, I don't have really any negative experiences growing up the way I did till like later on in life. There's just a lot of things that happened that split, the community split.
Got it.
People took over and really caused a lot of heartache and split a lot of families apart. And it was bad. But outside of that, I really liked growing up with a big family, my brothers and sisters, and like a big community like that. It was awesome.
Nice. And you mentioned earlier you left around 14.
So my dad and my mom did, yeah.
Okay.
And our family kind of split off too, because some of them
Wow.
already left earlier and moved to Salt Lake City, took their kids with them. One of them stayed in the religion, and my dad and my mom, they got kicked out essentially.
They got kicked out?
Yeah, because that's what was happening. So it goes back, if you go back far enough, to keep it short, Warren Jeffs, his dad died, Roland Jeffs.
Okay.
And this is like the prophet, right?
Got it.
So he took over and right away started just splitting families. Started remarrying the women to other like dads, and it was a
Interesting.
complete mess. My dad's like right away, this is not right. Right, so it's things like, that's when things got really bad.
Why was he remarrying families though?
No idea. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Huh. Yeah, that is. Why would you break up the family unit? That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know if it's intentional, but they completely destroyed the entire community.
Wow.
It happened fast.
So
So if you
it-
look into it, there's all kinds of documentaries and
Yeah, I got to
things
look into
about
that. So it no longer exists out there?
No, it does, and it's all fragmented. There's all these different little subgroups, right? But
Yeah.
the main thing's really completely broken out.
Got it. So how long after that did you get into business?
So I actually started in really when I was a kid, growing up in that. I started like with snow cone shacks, right? Like on the side of the road, just
Yeah.
selling that. Other things you would sell, like yard selling, buy and selling, and then really got into computers at a young age. So working for my dad because he owned the hardware store, the grocery store, the Radio Shack.
Damn,
like a car
your dad was a
barn.
baller.
Yeah, he had the dairy at one point. So he built a lot of the kind of infrastructure there in that community. But I was working for him one summer. They had a computer sitting in an office just they're going to throw away. I'm like, hey, can I buy this? So I worked the summer, bought it from him for $150. It didn't work, obviously. But I knew that. So like basically had to figure out how to rebuild that, start buying parts, saving up, and got into the hardware side of computers that way. Then obviously got really obsessed with the internet. It's like the dial-up internet in those days.
Yeah.
The modems, the dial-up modems.
I'm
it's
too
just
young for that.
So slow, man.
Yeah.
You got it good because I grew up right into that. It changed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of that whole process, got really obsessed with the internet, and then eventually kind of skipping ahead. Obviously, there's a lot that happens. But got to my freshman year of high school. That summer, I was really bored. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I was playing World of Warcraft at the time. I'm like, hey,
Classic.
I heard about World of Warcraft private servers. So I'm going to see if I could figure out how to kind of reverse engineer and create my own. And now it took me a couple weeks, and I had one up on my computer at home. Again, a terrible computer. But I got it up, got everything working. I had to literally learn a little bit of database work, networking, port forwarding from your router, getting a website up so you register with the database and then connect that to the server, which is running on your local computer. Just the whole process that taught me a lot of what I do these days now.
Yeah.
We got that all set up and went and did a little bit of marketing within literally less than an hour. I had like 40 players on my server on my local computer.
Okay.
Obviously crashed my computer. So had to like eventually get to where you buy a dedicated host and server, and then took it big. And by my senior year, we were having, days where people were donating $800 days.
Holy crap.
Through those
How many people were playing?
At the peak, I had over 2,000 players.
Dude, that's
One of our-
incredible.
the
So
biggest
that
one,
was, one of the biggest ones
So that
out
was
there.
active. I'm talking people like at the peak, 2,000 players online.
Yeah, that's super cool. I used to play RuneScape private servers, Maple Story, a couple other games. Private servers were fun because you could experience what it was like being high level. Because to get to that level in the normal game takes, 10,000 hours?
Yeah, it takes forever.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you're never going to get there.
Yeah, but I say 100%. Like World of Warcraft, for instance, being a game master and then, getting anything you want, like all the items you say, just experiencing all the different things. What I did is kind of gamified it. So you could donate for points on the website and use the points to buy in-game items. They were custom, right? So
Smart.
You obviously had an advantage. It was a PvP-based environment,
Yeah,
so it worked
that's
out
dope.
pretty well.
What other games did you play?
So World of Warcraft, I really played Final Fantasy 11 online.
Okay.
And I played all the Final Fantasy series before that.
I've never played that game.
Any of the Final Fantasy stuff?
No, I've heard about them, though.
Final Fantasy 7 is by far my favorite.
Really? Okay.
Phenomenal game, the storyline, but all those Final Fantasy games, the storylines are just incredible.
I got to check
think
it
you'll
out
really
then.
like 'em.
Is it a shooter or is it a
No, it's a
MMO?
role-playing game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. And then MMOs came with Final Fantasy 11. So later on, they actually built their own MMO, and I'm obsessed with that, man.
Yeah.
That's when about the same time I started playing World of Warcraft too.
Yeah, I've actually spent tens of thousands of hours on video games growing up, and they get a lot of hate online, but I learned some really good skills from them, to be honest.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, like my skill set to this day, the fundamental things that I do or understand now, it's all started from World of Warcraft.
Same.
Building those private servers, that was it. And then the socializing, the community, right? It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you learn social skills, you learn teamwork. Your words per minute when you type now, it's probably 100, which comes in handy for business these days because everyone uses a computer.
Yep.
I mean, dude, I think I did the test, type race or whatever. I got like 110 words per minute.
That's crazy.
It's insane, dude.
Gonna take that back to gaming,
Yeah.
Got to be fast.
I don't even do the, whatever it's called, PEMDAS that they teach in school. Did you?
I remember kind of doing it, but I have my own little.
Yeah. I use like maybe 4 fingers, but it's like
That's
rapid.
exactly how I do. That's funny.
I don't like the PEMDAS, dude. When you type with your pinky, it feels so awkward.
It is. It's just weird.
I never use that. I want to talk about your trip in Europe, backpacking for a month.
Yeah. So what I did is I was working a corporate job in mortgages. Got to where I was doing that for 4 years. In fact, that's what brought me to Vegas. Coming from Salt Lake City, they moved here. They moved headquarters here, so I moved with them. And about 4 years into that job, I was like just done with it, right? Just corporate, like grindy. Like I didn't feel like there was much higher I could go.
Yeah.
So got really sick of that. Started reading and studying. I came across Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week.
Classic.
And that led me to Vagabonding, like the book. Val Potts, I think is his name. Really good book. But I kind of got obsessed with the idea of like going to Europe, backpacking, and quit my job after I saved up enough money and I went and did that. So I did 30 days to try it. And it's a phenomenal experience, man. Staying in hostels, obviously. So you're staying in rooms with multiple people.
Wow.
That's part of it. You're trying to push you out of your comfort zone.
You weren't sketched out?
Oh yeah, it was very uncomfortable. It just like each place I went to was different. It always took 1 or 2 days to kind of like settle in. Right?
Yeah.
But then I'd move to another city. So it was just enough to keep me get comfortable, and then move to another city and just start it all over again.
How many cities did you hit?
So I started in Amsterdam.
Okay.
Then worked my way down to Paris and then to Madrid. And then from Madrid, flew up to Cologne, Germany. And spent, I think, about 5-6 days there. And then went over to Prague, the Czech Republic, so Eastern Europe, which is phenomenal. Every time I've been to Eastern Europe now, it's my favorite place in Europe.
I got to check it out.
Like the whole, Prague all the way down through Budapest and go down to Croatia.
Wow, so those were your favorite. Usually people say Italy, Greece, like
Italy's amazing.
Okay.
And I haven't been to Greece yet, but I mean, I just like Eastern Europe.
I love Europe, man. The people are different. They actually don't care too much. I haven't been in like 10 years, but they didn't care too much about social media or anything when I went. It seemed just like genuine.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. When I went to Amsterdam, people were very just upfront, and that's my type of style. I come from the East Coast.
Yeah, it's not my type of style at all. It's not like the exact opposite.
Yeah. But
I have a team in Serbia, Novi Sad. There's 7 software engineers that work over there, and I love the Serbians, man. I love their culture. But like you said, they're just very upfront.
Yeah.
That's how they grew up, right? They're just everything they think of, it's just right to your face.
Absolutely.
Kind of appreciate that.
Yeah. Were you solo the whole trip?
So I had my buddy Philip, who actually, it's funny, I met him building World of Warcraft private servers, right? So my first one, when I got to the point I needed a web developer to take over that whole process, someone introduced me to him, and he was 12, 13 years old at the time, and I was 16. So just a young Serbian kid, and he was really good. Right. So I met with him because we built multiple projects along that journey and sold some of them. And met with him in Amsterdam. He was with me until Cologne. When I went to Prague, and he headed home. But so I was with him and then one of my buddies on the trip, but most of it was solo too. Nice. Which was the funnest part of it.
Yeah, I've done a few solo trips. It's different. I like to be able to share the experience usually, but I think sometimes a solo trip is needed.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I recommend everybody do. Yeah. It is. It's incredible. I mean, if you want to start with somebody, then eventually end up solo for at least a couple cities, you'll learn so much from that experience.
That's cool. You went with someone you met online. I'm trying to think if I ever met up with someone that I met purely online, and I don't think I have.
Yeah, he's my CTO at MyDesigns.
Wow, and you met him on World of Warcraft.
Yep, started back when he was 12 or 13 years old, and I was 16. We worked on so many projects since. He went and ended up at Microsoft for a while. Nice. But then eventually quit when I brought him over to build this project with me.
Super cool. So. Now, I know a big part of Mormonism was no drugs, no alcohol, right? Yeah. Are you still not doing that?
So I drink alcohol, but I didn't drink till I was almost 21. Okay. Like, it was pretty common in my family. As we got out of the religion, a lot of people were drinking. It's actually really common in that community. A lot of people drink, and they drink a lot. Really? Yeah. Oh, I mean, not the Mormonism side. I'm saying once like the people that get out. That get out, okay. Kind of like trying to find their purpose and what they're doing, right? But no, I didn't drink till I was 21. Damn. And never done drugs, really. Wow. Smoked weed once or twice. More than that, but tried it, and that's pretty much it.
Wow. So no cravings to do mushrooms or anything?
No, I actually have. I've actually microdosed mushrooms.
Getting the truth out.
So yeah, I completely spaced that part, but I microdosed mushrooms.
Okay.
And
I wouldn't even count that as taking drugs.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't say it, because I haven't been at that level, what everybody experiences and
Yeah.
talks about. But at some point, absolutely.
I'm a fan of microdosing, dude.
I think psychedelics, there's a lot of power.
Yeah. I've split tested days where I microdose and then days I don't, and productivity is higher every time.
Yeah, and what's the creativity like? That's the part I notice the most with me.
For sure. Yeah, you think outside the box
Yeah.
because you get so locked in sometimes when you're grinding, and that's why I take vacations now actually, because I used to not, and I realized you need time to reset.
It's interesting what happens subconsciously. Like kind of like you said, you're locked in a box, and it does feel like that.
Yeah.
You're grinding, it's the same thing every day, and also time speeds up because your brain starts a shortcut like kind of routine.
Right.
So like with getting out and traveling, kind of break those routines and break things up. Time slows down.
Yeah, dude, time flies when you're in that grind mode like you are right now with the startup. I'm sure you're working 15 hours a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much every day, 6 a.m. till about 11 at night.
Jeez.
I mean, there's breaks and stuff in between, right? If you have basketball and things like that. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Dude, it's actually funny how much I look forward to basketball because
Me
it just clears your head. Like the whole week you're grinding, you're like, oh, I got a game today, thank God.
Yep, it makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
I
dude.
miss. I can't wait to be back.
Yeah, you've been out for what, a couple weeks now?
In 4 weeks now, I've taken another 2, maybe 3 weeks off, just let my shoulder get healed up and
Nice.
I broke that rib, so that's feeling a lot
Oh,
better
you
now.
broke it?
Yeah, I broke it right before the championship
Oh,
game.
shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, top left rib.
How'd that happen?
Just in one of our games, the semifinals, a guy he spun around like his elbows out, just
yeah.
hit me right perfectly.
Bruh.
And it hurt like hell when it happened. I'm like, what is that? I had the adrenaline, kind of finished the game, and then the next day it really hurt.
Oh, gosh. And you played the finals?
Yeah, I played Wednesday the next day too, which is
Bro,
stupid. And then I
you're
played
wild.
the finals, but the finals that was a whole week later, but it hurt even worse.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't know what happened there, but now it's finally starting to feel pretty good.
Did it heal on its own?
Yeah, I think with ribs for the most part, I haven't even went and got it checked out, right? But it was definitely broke. I could feel it moving around and all
Jesus.
that. But yeah, most times ribs will just heal on their own.
I feel that. Did you play anything else other than basketball?
Played a little bit of football.
Okay.
Mostly basketball.
Tight end?
Did track and field. Mostly a wide receiver. But
Oh,
again,
yeah?
I didn't play it competitively in high school.
Okay.
I just like with friends and family. But my brother did.
Nice.
He's an athlete. You'll have to meet him someday. He's a hell of an athlete.
I'm game, dude. Football, I just never got into it. I was too skinny growing up, honestly.
Yeah. I was getting recruited when because I went from like the small school, my hometown.
Yeah.
I was trying to play college basketball and ended up going up to Salt Lake City and played at a high school up there my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it, starting 5 on that team, did really well.
Nice.
Just wasn't enough time to get around scouts and whatnot.
Yeah, because I feel like they start recruiting you sophomore, junior year, right?
Yeah. And they're looking at some of those kids out of 8th grade.
Yeah.
All the way up.
These days, like 7th grade, like it's crazy with social media what it's done. I feel like back then it was way harder to get recruited.
Yeah, 100%.
And you had to make your own mixtape, and it was just like, how do you even do that? You know?
It's a whole different skill set on its own.
Yeah. I remember signing up for that website. I forget what it was, but you upload your mixtape, and then recruiters were on there. But
awesome.
I wasn't good enough. I did track. What was your event in track?
So I did the 400-meter dash.
Okay.
Which, that's terrible, man.
Rough.
Have you tried it?
My best time was 54, and I felt maybe 56. Either way, I felt like I was dying the whole time.
Yeah, the entire time, and it happens fast. I think I got 49.
Holy
fastest.
crap.
We had a guy on our team that was 47 seconds. It was just,
Dude,
ridiculous.
49 in high school.
49 or 50, yeah. It's my senior year. And that's the only time I ever played track and field. But I also did pole vaulting.
Bro, so you were a speedster back in the day.
Kinda, yeah.
Because I got to admit, in basketball, I don't see that in you.
No, I'm slowed down, man. After going to Utah Valley University, I was kind of like playing with the team there.
Yeah.
I was going to walk on as I did, but I was competing with those guys right out of high school and at a very high level.
Yeah, I mean,
Play
dude.
with any of them. But then I end up fracturing my ankle, torn a few of the ligaments. And since then, I came back way too early, and that messed up a lot of things.
I feel that, dude. Because, dude, with your skill set, and I'm picturing you with speed with that skill set, oh my gosh, you'd be the best player in the league.
And one of my favorite things back then was starting to get to that point, because I played center in high school, right? Because that's what we needed. And then I started to extend my game after high school, playing more on the wing and as a slasher, more like a small
Yeah, you
forward.
can shoot now.
Yeah. And that's slashing down the middle and just throwing down dunks and things like that. It's what I was doing until I ended up messing my ankle up pretty bad.
Damn, you were yamming?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm still trying to get my first dunk in the league. I got one on Tuesdays, but I want to get one on Wednesday league.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah, you'll get it.
I'm on BT now, so we'll see.
Oh, you're on BT?
Yeah. We lost, though, week 1, man. There's some good teams.
Yeah, I'm excited to get our team back in there at some point.
I know we're getting so specific. The audience is probably like, what are they talking about? I love basketball, though, man.
Me too. It's awesome.
What are you excited about this year, and where can people find you, man?
Mostly excited about continue to build MyDesigns. We're probably going to do another capital raise, probably at a $10, $12+ million valuation.
Nice.
See where things go with that and continue to build that startup. And then raise my family. I have a little baby girl now. She's been so
Congrats.
much fun. Thank you. It's been awesome. Lacey's taking care of her and doing such a great job.
You want 10 kids?
Probably not 10, but I do want at least 3.
Okay.
And we do
Three's
have a stepson, Kyler.
Nice.
So him and then my little baby, and now I hope we have 3 more.
Love
So
it. Yeah, 3 is a good number. I'm aiming for 3 too.
That's awesome.
Love it, man. Where can people find you?
Go to curtisblackmore.com. You can find all my socials and whatnot from there.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you tomorrow.